Hello there, good day. This is Tony Estevez with the Talk to More People books, multiple, that I just received from Blitz Printing today. And I thought I would create a little unboxing video because I've seen some other people do that and I thought it's kind of a fun idea. Of course, any author receiving their printed book is typically going to be happy, assuming they're happy with how it turned out. And I am quite happy with how it turned out. So I thought I'd share this little moment with you and unpack the other 3 boxes of books that I have here. And in doing so, thought maybe a way that I could make this useful and not just like, oh wow, Tony's got books, is maybe share a little bit with you about my process and how this Talk to More People book came to fruition. What a giant knife, isn't that nice? And truthfully, the writing for this book started about 9 years ago. I was doing some writing on the subject of something I call unexpected connections, which was very much the concept of Talk to More People before Talk to More People existed. Make sure nobody sits on that, okay? Yeah. In that, this concept of unexpected connections was all about the benefits of people just talking to one another and how when strangers meet, there's this opportunity for learning and growth that often gets overlooked. So that's this concept that I was blogging about, I was writing about a little bit, even doing some speaking engagements on that subject. But I don't know, I didn't really refine it into a useful concept, I don't think, until 2016-17 with the beginning of the Talk to More People project. Now, what's the best way to empty these? I'm just going to dump them. I'm going to do a book dump. That was, of course, a social experiment to meet one new person every day for a full year. That was the Talk to More People project, which was profoundly transformative. It really helped me with my mental health. I was going through some depression and anxiety at the time, and just through meeting all these people and the adventures that journey took me on, it really was very, very good for me. It helped me learn about communities that I didn't even know existed around fitness, around mindfulness, around writing, a whole bunch of different communities I discovered as a result of intentionally meeting people. And of course, it was also a great deal of fun. And that's one part of the Talk to More People book. This is so much more awkward than it might look. Or maybe it looks plenty awkward. That's one piece of the Talk to More People book that I wanted to make sure was in there, was this idea of fun and play. Because my dad, who was largely inspired much of the Talk to More People concept, because he was so outspoken and speaking to everybody all the time, whether they liked it or not, he was also a very playful man. And so I learned at a young age that play could be a great way to connect with people. And so I wanted to make sure there was play in this book. And let me tell you, there's certainly a lot of play in this book. No jokes. There's plenty of play. What's that got to do with my process? Long story short, I've been writing for a very long time on this concept. It took some different iterations for it to actually manifest into a book. If you are a writer who has a book in you or a book half scribbled down in some area, the number one tip I could offer to anybody who wants to turn their ideas into a book is that you get your ideas into one place. So for me, it was like a cloud-based platform. I was using Google Drive, and I spent, a couple of months when I really hunkered down on this a few years ago, just getting all of my content into one place, because I had handwritten journals, I had stuff in online places, I had stuff on social media, I had content, I had just so much stuff everywhere and ideas in my head, of course, and that's very hard to bring together if it's in a whole bunch of different places. So first tip I would offer to anyone considering writing a book is, get your ideas all in one place, wherever that happens to be for you. And for me, that Google Drive was really, really helpful with that. What else can I tell you about my process? I carved out lots of my mornings, as in dozens, maybe hundreds of mornings of my life to dedicate time to my writing process. My most creative times are when I'm most creatively productive, as is often the case for people who are in creative industries, is early in the morning or late at night. I'm both a night owl and sometimes an early morning riser. And so, making a nice fun tower here, Talk to More People tower. So creating time or carving out time in my schedule was a big part of how this book got done, and that's something I would certainly recommend to anyone else in a writing process, is that you give the writing process the time and respect that it needs. If you've got all these ideas scattered everywhere and you know you've got a book in you that you want to get out of you, it's going to be kind of hard to do that if you don't dedicate some time to your process. So that's another tip I would offer. Now we're going into box number 3? Yeah, I think this is the third. Yeah, third big box. How about what the heck's in the book? Why would you be interested in this book? Well, I think that, so the book is titled, oh, actually, here's a fun piece. Coming up with the title of the book was one of the hardest things that I did. Like, I knew it was going to be called Talk to More People, but the tagline, Change Your Life by Meeting People, was one of the most difficult things for me to actually decide upon. My goodness. That caused much unnecessary angst. How can I open this more efficiently? This one's going to get flipped upside down. I hope I don't knock over the Talk to More People tower. These, by the way, are quite heavy. These books are each a half an inch thick. We're looking at 194 pages per book. I did almost knock the power off over. That would have been really a shame. What a lovely display. Lovely display of books you got there. So yeah, coming up with the actual title was quite a monster of a mission. I ended up doing an online survey using a digital tool that I'll post in the description of this video below, where you can just pay a few bucks to get results in as early as 15 minutes. So I put up a couple different versions of the title with the text slightly different, and then also with the line on this bar or not on this bar. And then people gave me real world feedback, like why they liked a choice or why they didn't like a choice. And that was really, really helpful for me. I, of course, also asked friends and family and got feedback from them. But asking friends and family for feedback on your creative projects, I find, can be obviously biased. Not that they are only going to tell you what you want to hear, like, oh, it's great. But because our friends and families just might very well not have any expertise in, let's say, design or writing or any of the things that you need expertise in to produce a high-quality book. So I didn't rely a great deal on feedback from friends and family, although I did, of course, explore that. I'm probably going to block myself out of the shot here. That's okay. Building a Talk to More People tower. So that's another tip I would say is use tools that are available to you to get feedback from people who you don't know. They'll give you unbiased feedback. I would also recommend, if you're writing a book or thinking about writing a book, that you hire professional help. So I worked with a wonderful editor, Erin Parker, for 8.5 months, and the work that we did together, like what she recommended to me, the changes that we did, the changes that this book project underwent in that 8.5 months were quite substantial. And I am so grateful that I worked with her and that I was able to get her feedback, because I know that the book now is so much more of a useful tool for people. and will be an enjoyable read. And I could have skimped on the investment of the editing and maybe worked with someone much more junior, but I am thrilled that I was able to invest a lot of time and significant expense to really get the book professionally edited and also professionally proofread. I think that's also made a really big, well, I know that's made a big difference in how the final product is, and that's going to come across for the people who read it. Down to the last and final box here. Oh, great, I've lost that very sharp knife. Good job, son. Oh, there it is. I wasn't being very sharp there. Okay. What else? So camera, what else can I answer for you about this book writing process? How does it feel now? Ooh, this might not be a question of earnest excitement for you, but it's something that I definitely want to share. So how does it feel now? Interestingly, I found the most significant emotional experience in this whole process was May 15th of 2020, which was when I submitted my second draft to my editor. That to me felt like, holy cow, I can't believe how much work this has been. And it's really done now. Like, whoa, it's done. And it's out, it's off to Aaron to get cleaned up. And of course, it was still so very far from being actually done. But it really felt done at that time. And so picking up the books today was pleasant, but it wasn't this tearful, like, oh my God, my books, blah, thing that I was told to expect or that I've seen from other authors. It was just cool, kind of logistics. It's like I've got a bunch of people who pre-ordered it, and now I have to deliver them or mail them off, and I'm about to do that. So for me, the biggest release or sense of like, holy cow, I finished a book was just after the second of 4 drafts that I did before going into design and proofreading, which of course was hundreds more hours, maybe not hundreds, dozens. And that'll be, I think, different for any author. What's some advice I would offer? I would say definitely make sure your book is completely done, finished, done editing, like done and done design before you work with a really talented proofreader. They won't like you changing things after you've already handed them the book. In my case, I learned that I wanted these graphical elements in the book, some nice big letters, only as we were in the proofreading stage, and this is a big no-no. And I knew that, but I still wanted it the way I wanted it, and unfortunately, that I felt a bit unprofessional getting changes done as the proofreading was happening. Don't recommend that to people. Do recommend you get your editing and your design all done before you go to proofreading. I am doing print on demand with Ingram Spark as well as Amazon, and I can say that I worked with this wonderful project manager, Cara Simpson, and she guided me through that process of setting it all up and everything. And now that I've done that, we've done that together, I would definitely recommend it to people that you distribute through Amazon, KDP. It just makes it very easy. Like, this is the only time I will ever have stock inventory, is this first print run. Anybody else who wants it, of course, can order it print on demand pretty much anywhere in the world. And that's kind of cool because it's not going to cost me any stamps. So I would totally recommend that as well. And what else can I tell you? I'm going to close up the Talk to More People wall here with my final couple dozen books. And I guess, if you have any questions about the publishing process or about how to write a book or how to get your ideas together, shoot me a note or drop me a comment, shoot me a note, and I'll answer what I can. Just got my first paper cut. That was pleasant. And I joke with people, with people who tell me they want to write a book, I'm like, don't ever write a book. It is so stressful. It takes so much time. But and I will tell you, there were tears. Like, this was a very stressful process for me a number of times last year. yeah, it was a monster of a mission. However, I've also learned with different work experiences that those projects that bring us to tears and are so stressful are often the most rewarding. And yeah, so now I get to enjoy the rewards of having this book out there in the world and see how people receive the message that connecting with people face to face is like a good thing to do for your mental health and can change your life and your business. So yeah, I joke that you should never try and write a book. It'll drive you nuts. And I would say if you think you've got the spurs for it, then give it a go and get your story out there to the world. And maybe this will be my last tip in this video. Do yourself a favor and let go of perfectionism. I think if I had less perfectionistic tendencies, that maybe I could have had this book out there 6 months ago. And maybe it would have made the same impact or more impact than I anticipate it's going to make. So yeah, you have to kind of let go of perfectionism if you want to get a book out there. Is also something I'd recommend you consider. So, oh, don't want this to fall. Hello. Okay. So I'll close the Talk to More People book wall and this video by saying thank you for watching my unboxing here. And, well, yeah, why not? Pick up a copy of my book. It's new. It's just released on January 21st. It's not actually January 21st yet. It's so exciting. You can find it. Just plug the phrase "Talk to More People" into Amazon and go ahead and order yourself a copy. I can guarantee you'll be entertained. You'll learn from the more than 80 tips on how to meet people today face to face, and maybe you'll be inspired to further go after your own creative endeavors, whatever they are. With that, I'm going to sign off and put my house back together again. Thanks for tuning in. I'm the author of Talk to More People, Tony Estevez. Having a hoot. I'm not even an owl, but I'm having a hoot. But if I were an owl, I would totally spin my head around all the time to look at things. Like, what a neat superpower that is. Now you're getting sidetracked. That's all right. Look at these books. Come on. So pretty. So pretty. No more paper cuts, please. Okay. Should we cut this, Tony? I don't want to put people to sleep. No. Last 3 books. There we go. I didn't promise at the beginning of the video that it was going to be the most exciting video. Here we go. Thanks for tuning in. Check out Talk to More People. Take good care. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in. Check out Talk to More People. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in. Check out Talk to More People. Bye for now.